Welcome back to the Plus Side of Nashville. We've been talking about the Nashville Food Project with the Community Engagement Manager, Elizabeth Langgle Martin. And Elizabeth, it's so nice having you here to talk about the fact that so many people in Nashville waste food. I think 40% waste food, but there's such a need for food, and you all provide that. And you have a new initiative that I know you're excited about in this whole COVID and the whole tornado aftermath. You've had to sort of readapt and readjust how you do things, but you've got a great initiative going. Tell us about the Community Cupboard.
Sure. Community Cupboard started as a relationship with Fat Bottom Brewery. When at the beginning of COVID, a lot of people in the hospitality industry were suddenly finding themselves without work or lost wages. And so they reached out and wanted to do a collaboration, and we were really excited about that opportunity. So each week we put together these really robust grocery shares for up to 70 families that were connected with the hospitality industry or the restaurant industry. And these shares were all sourced locally. So local products, local coffee, local veggies, local fruits, flour, bread, all these little staples, all these things that go into letting folks have what they need in their kitchens each week. And so we put together these robust shares. We delivered them to Fat Bottom, and they distributed them to the folks that they are connected with in the hospitality industry. Since a lot of those folks have now returned to work in some capacity, whether it's supporting takeout or those restaurants that are open for in-house dining, our Community Cupboard has shifted to meet some other needs. Right now, we're partnering with an incredible organization locally called Legacy Mission Village that supports our immigrant and refugee community neighbors, and we're providing each week a bulk produce share and a bulk grocery share for about 80 to 100 families. And this is all fresh, locally grown produce that we purchase from local farmers, local meat, local eggs, local milk. So these are the products that we distribute, that we bring to Legacy Mission Village, and then they make sure get out into our community. And so that's kind of a way that Community Cupboard has looked at a couple different periods in this journey, depending on the needs of the folks who are receiving it.
Are you serving typically the same families, Elizabeth?
So yes. So I think that the important part is, first instance, we partner with Legacy Mission Village. They're serving the families that they have deep, long-term relationships with. And that's why partnering is such a passion of ours, because we don't have the ability to have close personal relationships with every person who receives food through the Nashville Food Project. So we want to invest our food alongside of this programming, like with Legacy Mission Village, that has long-standing relationships and investments in the communities that they serve.
Well, like most other organizations and businesses and everybody, we're all having to figure out ways to do things safely. How have you had to sort of do things as far as the CDC safety guidelines and handling food and dealing with people?
Yeah, so a lot of our team that's not in the kitchens or in the gardens is working from home, like myself, which allows our meals teams in our 2 commercial kitchens to have the social distance they need while they're working. We've instituted, when we have food donations or when we're delivering meals to other nonprofits, we have no contact policies and procedures to make sure that when we receive donations of food or when we're dropping off prepared meals or groceries, that we're not making physical contact with other folks in our communities. Of course, we wear masks and gloves. We've worked out policies and procedures in our gardens to make sure we're honoring social distancing. The health of our team and of our community is so important to us. Yeah. And so we're making sure to take all of those recommendations really seriously.
So what might a delivery look like? Because you mentioned meals, but then you also have vegetables. Would you maybe drop off a plated food? Do you drop off baskets, bundles of fresh fruits and vegetables? How does a typical delivery look like?
Yeah, thanks for asking. It really just depends on the partner. For some partners who are receiving a prepared meal, a meal made from scratch in our kitchens, they're delivered in large bags of individually portioned meals that are about this large and have a lid and reheating instructions. And so those are delivered in large bags with all those individual meals packaged inside. For our bulk produce shares, like Legacy Mission Village, all of the produce is delivered with like items. So all of the zucchini together, all of the Swiss chard together, and their team actually kind of divvies those out to spread across the families that they're serving. And then for our community cupboard initiative with Fat Bottom, at the beginning of COVID, we actually bagged the groceries that were going to each family. So depending on the partner and what their needs are, the delivery might look different, but it's always done through a lens of no contacts, and just really making sure whatever product that we're sending and that we're sharing in the community is very taking a lot of health and safety precautions around that.
Just great work being done by the Nashville Food Project. And we want to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk about how folks may want to help you. So stay with us and we'll be right back.